Hello and welcome back to Suicide Notes with Dr. Lulu. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Momatrician. I'm so happy to see you guys today. I want to talk about 5 things that you can do to help your teenager during this pandemic. In the United States where I live, a lot of our kids are homeschooling or they're doing distance learning, and teenagers in particular get hit really hard because, as you and I know, it's all about their friends at that age. Now, while the younger kids might be happy to have their mom and their dad at home 24/7, the teenagers not so fast. They don't really like you. They don't really want to be at home with you 24/7. So do what I do. Give them a break, okay? Give them a break sometimes. So let's talk about 5 things that you can do as a parent to help your child who's a teenager survive the pandemic. I just got off the phone with a client whose daughter sadly attempted suicide about a month ago. And one of the issues they're having is that the child is depressed and anxious about staying at home, not able to go about her regular extracurricular activities. She's missing her friends. And then on top of it, they took her phone. They took her phone. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, shall we? So the first thing is validate their emotions. Okay, let's be honest. Acknowledge and validate. 2 things you can do for teenagers that will make a huge difference. When you were a teenager, you would have wanted your parents to acknowledge and validate your emotions. Tell them what I tell my kids. I know I'm having a hard time too. Be vulnerable as a parent. Don't hide. Don't try to be macho. Your kids want to see that you're just like them. They really want to see that you are like them. You cry and you laugh just like them. So tell them what I tell them. I know what you're going through. I can imagine how hard it is. I totally get it. Your friends are everything. I miss my friends too. But this too shall pass. Give them hope. Don't be negative, okay? And then the second thing, encourage healthy habits. Regardless of, lockdown or no lockdown, pandemic or no pandemic, they need to exercise still. They need to go to bed on time. They need to eat well. They need to eat healthy foods. I know I gained my COVID-19 while I was at home, but that's not healthy. Allow them to play a little bit more video games than they normally will, because just give them a little bit of a break, please, because the kids are already having a very, very hard time. If your child is a younger adult, they can get a part time job. They can wear their masks. They can leave the house. At least that's one way to do it. If all else fails, do what I do. Go hiking with your child. I love the outdoors. Get out there and exercise. Have fun. Okay. The third thing you can do is support remote learning. Okay, this is almost the reality that we have now. This remote schooling thing is here to stay. Is not going anywhere. Do what I do. Check in on them from time to time. Ask them how was school. Sit down and actually pay attention to how they say school was. Make sure that your child is walking around and taking frequent breaks. And please give them a break. Just give them a break with the video games from time to time if they're getting their schoolwork done. But support remote learning, because a lot of times they are frustrated, and it's easy for you to want to join them in being frustrated. Don't do that, okay? Support remote learning, because that's kind of what's the reality right now. Okay, and then emphasize masks and social distancing if they must go out. My son's friends come to visit him, they do a drive-by visit, and everybody has their masks on and they are in their cars. I gotta get the little guy, he's 16. He needs to get out there and move some of his testosterone. So I let him go to the basketball court with his mask on and let him have his friends over with their masks on. You have to emphasize that because it's the reality. I don't know about you, but over here in San Antonio, Texas, it is real. Number 5, use technology to your advantage. Are you kidding me? This is like the time when we need to get our technology to our advantage. Use Zoom, use Skype, use FaceTime. Call their grandparents, call their siblings, call their cousins. Allow them to use technology a little bit more. Social media, if they must. Just be aware that they're there and monitor the number of times that they're there, but let them use technology to their advantage, okay? So my name is Dr. Lulu. Those are your tips for today. 5 things to do. Number 1, validate and acknowledge. Number 2, encourage healthy habits. Number 3, support remote learning. Number 4, emphasize masks. And number 5, use technology. So join us next week for another tip of something about suicide prevention in teenagers. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Momatrician. If you want to get my book, dial 0803-786-6124 and ask for Chris. Thank you so much. Bye.